Let's see here.
Marvin, Maryland.
Hey, Marvel, welcome.
Great evening,
Recording in
Mr. Bean.
progress.
Do you need some support, Mr. Bean?
Yes, ma'am. You should let everybody in for me. I just made you a co-host as well.
Thank
And
you.
let's see here.
You got Team Cheek here, one half of Team Cheek here. You know
Mr.
who I
Chief,
am, sir.
welcome to the call. Glad to have you on board.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Let's see here.
Erica Neal, Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico is in the building. Welcome, Ms. Neal. Glad to have you on board.
Don LaPlume, New Hampshire.
Donald LaPlume, New Hampshire is in the building. Welcome to the call.
Thomas Butler, DMV.
Mr. Butler, welcome to the call. Glad to have you. Glad to have
Thank you,
you.
sir.
Got Pete Abraham is in the building as well, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Sullivan is in the building. What's going on? Miss Cheeks, I see the other half of the Cheek Enterprises in the building. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Guys, go ahead and make sure you get yourself something right with, something right on. We're going to get started in just a second, a very hot second. Want to make sure you guys are in a really good place where you can take some copious notes and you can get some news that you can use. All right. Get ready to go into this holiday. I want to make sure everybody goes into this holiday with something to be thankful of on behalf of the Bill Network. So, again, we'll take another round of introductions, guys. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and state your name and where you're calling from for me.
Roy here from St. Louis.
Leroy, welcome to the call. Glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Bean, Gabby Togo, Orlando, Florida.
Miss Tolber, welcome to the call. Glad to have you, darling.
Hi, Mr. Beans. Patricia from Arkansas.
Hey, Patricia, welcome to the call.
Thank you.
Miss Mays is in the building. All right, let's see here. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and ask everybody to be so kind and go ahead and mute your lines. We're going to go ahead and get this conversation started. We want to get you guys back to your turkeys. All right, I want to make sure you guys, again, this it doesn't take a lot of time, for you to actually make an impact in a person's life. So if you can, mute your lines, get yourself something to write with, something to write on, and we'll go ahead and get this conversation started. But my name is Samuel Bean. I am the VP of Sales for the Build Network and the Build Trading Academy. And tonight, we're going to be talking about money and we're going to be talking about opportunities. We're going to talk about changing lives. And I'm excited about this because this company that you're hearing about tonight is a company that brought me out of retirement, right? And when I say brought me out of retirement, it wasn't because I needed money. It was because I needed to finish, something that I started. And I had a goal of helping 10,000 families make $5,000 a month of residual income over the next 5 years globally. And I was only able to do that, I'll make a small dent in that number over my years in business. Okay. And so when I looked at this platform, I'm looking at the opportunity for people to come on who just need a little bit of extra money, right? People who want to replace their jobs, people who want to build, legacies, when it comes to making big business opportunities, when it comes to, having a global business as well. So it doesn't matter what a person wants to do. I'm excited that they can do it here with us. My wife and I, we've had a measurable level of success. We've had the ability to learn from some very, very successful people and took that information and parlayed it into seven figures in three different industries. Okay? And I'm not telling you that, guys, that to brag or to impress you, but to impress upon you that when you learn from the right people and you do uh, the right things actually happen for you. Okay. And so if you can follow a simple set of instructions without deviating from the plan, right, you can do very, very well for yourself here in the Build Network. So without any further ado, let me go ahead and advance these slides and get you guys in a position where you can make a decision. Okay. The first and foremost, I want to make sure that since we are talking about money, I want to make sure I give you guys the disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor, and all this information today will be shared, that will be shared during this event is for educational, informational, and entertainment purposes only, right? So the Build Network and Omni do not guarantee income or financial results, and trading does involve risk, and past performances does not guarantee future success, right? So everybody that participates when it comes to trading, we're encouraging you guys to use your own discretion and seek independent financial advice before making trading decisions. Okay. And the last thing on this page that's very, very important is, guys, do not ever give anybody your money to trade for you when you can learn how to trade it for yourself. Nobody's ever going to be able to take care of your money the way that you do. And if you learn how to trade, guys, um, you minimize your risk, right? For me, my wife and I, we had an opportunity years ago, some years ago, to learn how to trade, and I turned it down because we were doing very well. And at the same time, opportunities were coming to us left and right, and an opportunity to have someone, grow our money came to us in multiple six figures, transferred hands from our hands to theirs and into an account, and the money didn't grow, it went away, right? And so um, I can just say right now, had I learned how to trade, right, when I didn't have to, okay, that $200,000 would have never left us, and it probably would have been, a lot greater when it comes to the representation of a profit as it was lost. But I learned a great lesson, and I just want to make sure you guys learn from my mistakes and my experiences without having to learn from it yourself. Now, the thing about money is that there's four ways to earn it, right? And the people who, get to the peak, people who, get to the top of life when it comes to economics, they have made it in all four ways. Okay. So when you look at the first one, it's you working for someone else, being an employee, right? And this is where the majority of the people walking the face of the earth start. Okay. And then it goes to you working for yourself. So you figure out that now, I don't want to work 40, 50 hours a week for somebody else. I want to work 40, 50 hours a week for myself and be a realtor, be an insurance agent, be an independent business owner, be a broker, be, a trader, whatever it is, you want to work for yourself, right? And so that's the 35%. Then you have the last two. One, being a business owner. Now, this is where you own your own company, right? And you have employees, but you also have those expenses and everything else. But when you do it right, it can be a very, very solid situation for you. Okay? And then the last one is the one percenters. And when you look at the one percenters, they have their money work for them. They put money on their put coverall on their money, send it out to work, and it comes back with co-employees, right? And so that's how you really want to get your money to behave. That's what you really want to put yourself in a position to evolve to. Okay. When you look at the 5%, those top 5%ers, guys, they're there for a reason, right? They understand leverage, they understand ideas, concepts, they understand how to move people and how to make sure that people make an exchange from, you having that money and then them actually having that money by providing a value. And when you look at a phrase that I heard, from Robert Kiyosaki, he said that 95% of the people, guys, they are fighting for the 5% of wealth that's left by the 5% of the people who control 95% of the wealth. And if you take all that money and you put it in one big bank account, universal bank account, and you say go, the same 5%ers will control 95% of the money, right? And own the companies that the 95%ers work for, while the 95%ers fight for the other five. So again, you want to make sure that you are really putting yourself in a position where you're evolving through this chain. Okay. And so there's no such thing as job security when you're not the one that owns the job. The four percenter owns the job. Yeah. So the build ecosystem, guys, real simple. When you look at the wealth building, premium travel, location freedom, guys, we have Build Academy, which is going to put you in a position where you can learn all about money, learn about AI, learn about a lot of the great things that have blockchain and things like that that's happening and becoming the thing of the future. And you have travel because you're working hard and you want to play hard. You want to travel around the world and enjoy it. And a lot of people here are now trading and traveling. Like we have one of our traders who you'll see here a little bit later, Roxy Cassiana. She's in Hawaii right now trading on the beaches of the world. Okay. And then you have location freedom. And so, again, you want to make sure you put yourself in a position where you have options. Right. Now, the Build Trading Academy. What is that? The Build Trading Academy combines the experience of master traders with the genius and simplicity of our Einstein scanner and automated trading app Omni. Say trading can help you build your own economy, and right now, guys, this time more than ever, you need to build your own economy. You need to become the president under your roof, right? Because you can't let down.
Progress.
I being one of them. Okay, but fact remains that a lot of those people who actually took that phone call and answered that text message and they got on calls like this, a lot of them started trading. And the majority of them are probably better off than where they were before COVID actually hit. As a matter of fact, a lot of people did not go back to work because they earned their freedom and fought for their freedom, learning how to trade for a lifestyle. Okay, and so that's a very big opportunity for a person who really wants to change, the future. How do I say, when you look at your future, how do you know what your future is going to look like? It's gonna you know what it's gonna look like when you're the one that's actually designing it. Okay, 4%ers, 1%ers, traders, people who can make money appear out of nowhere. Guys, those are the people who control and design their futures. Okay, but why should you learn how to start? I mean, why should you learn how to trade with us? Simply put, guys, you can trade from anywhere, no boundaries. It can be your bed, the bath, the beach, the boonies. It doesn't matter. To be your own boss. All right, no employees, inventory, or fresh infrastructure needed. Right, to learn a life skill that could potentially supplement your income or replace it. As if that's not a big enough reason, if you have a 9 to 5, right, and you've had maybe 5 to 10 jobs in a lifetime, at some point in time, you have to say, hey, look, it's got to be a better way. All right. So you can learn and set the right example for the next generation. And we talk about this all the time. Like I have a 17-year-old son, and my wife trades, and he's now starting to learn how to trade with her. And my father was a plumber. My mother was a substitute teacher. And trading, from home wasn't a thing that they can learn. That wasn't an option that they had. And I'm not saying if they had the option, they would have took advantage of it because people make their own decisions. But had they did that, I would have been exposed to money, economics, and other things that probably would have advanced my life, as a youth and an adult, right? So when you have kids, you want to leave them better than you found them, right? You want to make sure you put them in a position where they can go out there and thrive even after your demise. Okay? But to impact the economy under your roof, we talked about that earlier. You no longer have to rely solely on banks, jobs, and outdated systems. And I'm gonna just tell you right now, when it comes to banks, you really want to put yourself in a position where you behave just like the bank when it comes to your money. When you sign on a dotted line after you open up that bank account, what you're signing is a power of attorney that says that you can now move my money and do whatever you want with my money, right? And what they do is they take your money, put it right into the market. Think about that for a second. Every dime that you put into your bank is not in your bank account. It's right now being traded on Forex. It's being traded in futures. It's being traded in Omni. It's being traded in cryptocurrency. It's being traded by the banks traders. Okay. That's why I'm saying they're going to trade your money and make 600% on it, 6,000% on it, 100,000% on it. As why should you do the same? And they're only going to give you less than a percent on the money that they're actually trading on their behalf, coming out of your bank account, right? So when you ask yourself who we're looking for, guys, and again, this is not for everybody, but it can be, right? But anyone who is looking to make more money, the next gen entrepreneurs and digital nomads who grew up with the crypto, YouTube, and TikTok education, definitely looking for those guys. I sent my 17-year-old son a what we call a reel or this whatever we think is a reel or story of a 22-year-old who had just made his first $1 million in trading for that month. He started trading when he was 17 years old, same age as my son. And so I love sending him, videos and things like that of youngins, right? 17, 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-olds who are actually out there trading and enjoying their lives. One of our master traders, Donnie Pips, his son, his 11-year-old son, trades. And as a matter of fact, I mean, one day we were on the trading and he got a text message and he said, Dad, I just closed this trade, made $900 in, I think it was less than 15 minutes. Right. And so you have an 11, year old who made $900, which is something that the average person in North America, it takes them a whole 40-hour work week to make. Okay. So, we got to look at making money differently than our grandparents did. Okay. This is not your grandmother and grandfather's economy, right? Things are happening a lot stranger these days than it used to be. But the people who are capitalizing on it right now are the people who haven't been conditioned to get a job. to go to college for 4 years, 40, and work a job 40 hours a week. These are people who don't want to do anything you did. They're looking at you saying, I don't want your life. I love you, mom, dad, but I want to be in flip-flops, tank tops, and I want to have my laptop and cell phone on the beach, and I want to make my money like that. Okay. And there's a lot to learn from this generation when it comes to technology. But ambitious professionals who want to take control of their income and time, parents who care about teaching their kids financial literacy and life skills, like I talked about, trading communities that are looking for an edge with elite tools and technology and real education. Because you got a lot of these trading communities that are out there. They have one trader, or they were functioning and operating on one bot, one algorithm, and they're taking hits, and they're looking for a place with solid traders. They're looking for a place with solid technology, and that's why you should come here, right? But creators who are looking for a new market to learn and monetize, creators who basically are saying, you know what, I want to use my influence as an influencer to bring people to trading, and I want to build a community that'll pay me 50, 60, $70,000 a month, $100,000 a month for bringing people to the money. So when you look at, these things like Forex, guys, $7 trillion market, right? I'm talking about a day, traded daily in Forex. And we're talking about, 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, no Sundays, no Saturdays and Sundays. Okay. But, all Forex is traded on New York Stock Exchange, Tokyo Stock Exchange, London Stock Exchange, all of these exchanges. And then you have crypto, which is a fast moving market, right? Cryptos can provide access to financial services for the unbanked and the underbanked populations worldwide. And that's the one thing crypto that people need to wake up and really get comfortable with, because that's the one thing that puts every country on the same playing field, regardless of what the value of their dollar is. The peso and the U.S. dollar, or the pound and the ruble, doesn't matter what it is. When it comes to being fiat currency in that land, when you put it on the stock exchange or when you put it on a blockchain, cryptocurrency has the same value through every country, right? And it's being traded 7 days a week. Futures, $30 billion traded daily in the futures market. Okay, open 24 hours a day. And the futures market operates 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, allowing traders to participate in global price movement and economic events in real time across different sessions around the world. And we have some exceptional people who trade futures, just like we have some exceptional people who trade options. Contracts that offer flexibility and leverage. I open 6.5 hours a day, 5 days a week. And so we're not a one-trick pony, ladies and gentlemen. A person can come in and say, I don't want to do, crypto. I don't want to do Forex. I want to do options, or I want to do futures. And you can do whatever it is that you want, guys, because we have everything that you need. Okay. Now, when it comes to the training curriculum, and we have the foundational, training, trading essentials and tools and software. And when you look at the foundational trading, okay, intro to trading gold and other major pairs, stocks, options, futures, all of that good stuff. How to use chart software, how to set up a broker account, basic terms like buy, sell, pip, lot, candle, etc. All these things that seem like foreign languages to you. I tell people all the time, economics is an actual language that most people don't know how to speak, right? And so it's kind of like me speaking in Swahili or Italian. That's not my language, but economics is. And now trading is going to become a language of myself and my household. Right? Trading essentials, how to make a trading plan, candlestick patterns, price action, right? How to identify basically important price levels in the market, candle charting by time frames, Fibonacci retracements, all this good stuff. Don't let any of that stuff scare you guys. It's just like learning English or learning Spanish or learning, something in school, and that you're going to get a degree for there. But here you'll get a MBA here, right? If you learn this stuff, you master this stuff, you'll get your MBA here. MBA, massive bank account. Okay. That's the only degree that matters, right? And so then you have tools and software, scanners like Einstein, the indicators, Omni, our social platform, guys. It's a really huge deal that we offer all of these things, for the people who are coming on board. Now, meet the Build Trading Academy traders. JCL, Lara Cuenta, just had a conversation with him. Spanish futures trader and trainer. Guess what? Next week he starts to trade. He starts to train in English as well. So he's going to be doing both, right? And that's kind of when I talk about the people, personality, character for individuals who are trading for us guys. These are people who they all had their own communities before they came on board, and they all put their people first. For the most part, I know I've met at least five of these individuals, but around the board, just great human beings. JCL just say, hey, look, I know I already trained in Spanish, but he's not charging the company anything extra to start trading in English. Donnie Pips, Forex master trader, helped us launch the trading program, period. He is an individual who has a seven-figure quant trade. He's a seven-figure quant trader. He's a person who is a black belt in Six Sigma. He's been trading, since 2008, and he's been teaching since 2015. But the thing that I love about Donnie is that when I did my research on him, and I did, everybody knows this guy. People all around the world are using his E3 strategy, right? And he has technology that companies are buying to use, and some companies are even trying to buy to use, and some companies are trying to buy just so they can get it off the market. Okay. Roxy Castellanos, this lady here is when I say person who has a huge heart, she's trading everything from adults to children, right? She really has a huge community that's thriving. She's always out there doing events for people, teaching them the value of trading and building trading communities. And guys, I wish I had enough time to talk about everybody, but again, Sebastian, Lex, Maurice, guys, these are individuals we just brought on who all come on, with uh, when I say resumes that will blow you away. And they don't need to be here, and this is one of those things where they could be anywhere else, you're doing anything else, but they chose to be here based on our vision and what we want to do for the masses. Okay, so when you look at the live trading for Forex, futures, and options, guys, check the calendars and schedule because we have events going on daily, multiple times a day, multiple asset classes. Sometimes we might have futures and Forex trading the same day, futures, Forex, and options trading in the same day, right? So, again, it's whatever you want, you have access to that information. Now, when you look at Einstein, the scanner, guys, the technology, that we have in this company, it's so smart that the only thing you could name it was Einstein. It's the only thing that made sense to me, right? And so imagine having the smartest piece of trading technology in the world making financial decisions with you, not for you, with you, right? Think about going to, the class, and learning from, let's say, Donnie Pips, who's teaching Forex, right? And by the way, when he's on live, you see him taking trades for gold, you see him taking trades for crypto, you see him taking trades for oil, a lot of different things that he's taking trades for and showing people how to recognize. But the Einstein scanner basically says, hey, we're going to guide you, right? Just like, you know, Donnie guided you in the trainings, right? So when you start seeing the Einstein scanner works, it's going to be set to recognize the teachings of the people who are trading in this academy. Okay? So instead, when you're trading with it, it's going to say, "Hey, don't do that. That's not what you were taught." Right? If you do that, you're gambling. Right? Pay attention. Go back to your notes. Basically, is what it's going to say because you can look at Einstein as your personal trading assistant. Right? It identifies the probability trade setups that line up with what you've been learning, what you've been taught. Right? It doesn't just send out alerts, guys. It empowers you to trade with confidence by pinpointing winning trades throughout data-driven signals. So again, you're being alerted. Like it's crazy because my wife, like I said, she trades, right? My wife in the last 13 days has increased her account 40%. And and it's for two reasons. One, she's learning, from Donnie every day. The other thing is this, she when that Einstein alert hits, she takes off and she runs straight to her laptop and she puts in that trade, right? Based on, that alert and based on, what she learned. And she's not taking the credit. She's just taking the credit for being a great student, okay? Just being coachable, teachable, and trainable. And she's learning while she's earning. That's what the scanner does for you. Now, when it comes to Omni, okay, what is Omni? So Omni Trading is a technology platform that can mirror advanced algorithms or allow professional traders to execute trades based on the predetermined criteria. Okay? So it's designed to minimize human intervention and capitalize on market opportunities faster. Okay? Benefits are speed, efficiency, and reduce emotional bias, which means that it will disallow you to gamble and make emotional decisions if you because again it's going to put you in a position where it's almost thinking for you and acting for you. Okay. But when you look at Omni, trade execution in real time, market data, then algorithm analysis, then buy sell decision, and then trade execution. Again, all this has been done, and so when you look at Omni, it can actually mirror the trade successful traders, provide real time automated execution for our community, allowing our individual users the ability to activate their own trades. Okay. Now, Omni also can mirror master accounts using algorithmic trading and execute them instantly, for our community as well. Now, Omni gives the power to the people, and they do that by, allowing the customers to have full control of their accounts and the ability to trade how they want, which is important. You can pause or stop or a trade without waiting on the algorithm or the expert to do so or do it for you. Okay? You set your own risk levels and trade in multiple rooms to mitigate your risk. So you have different rooms, so you won't have all of your eggs in one basket. Let's say the market tanks in one thing. When you have three strategies, you have five strategies, or you have seven strategies, and that's being done by algorithms and being done by actual traders. One have a bad day, guys. Guess what? The other ones didn't. Okay? And now all of a sudden, you've made a little bit of money on the other ones to offset the loss, on one, and they continue to build together, right? While they build that account up that went down, that went belly up. Okay, because that's kind of how a lot of expert investors do. They diversify their portfolios, right? But it keeps track of the trades and executed and watch your accounts grow and choose to connect with any broker from the list of authorized and available brokers that we have. Okay. Now, when it comes to Omni, together we trade, together we win. And in a few simple steps, guys, they offer a private automated trading experience to our community. It's as easy as one, two, three, basically. Create an account by downloading the Omni admin app from the App Store and create your account in a few steps. Step number two, set up the strategies. Connect a master account from any broker and establish a substitution. I'm sorry, a subscription price. And number three, the start trading. You want to post your trades to master account, and all customers' accounts will execute the same trades. So, the one thing I like, when it comes to Omni, this is one of the biggest draws that we have, and one of the biggest pluses that we have is in this alliance is that Omni and its affiliates are registered as a commodity trading advisor, CTA, right? And introducing broker with the CFTC and members of the NFA. So if you go to the NFA website, you'll see Omni on the actual page. Okay. If a person tells you they're part of the NFA, just go to Omni and put their name in and see if it shows up, or just go to NFA and and look at the website. And if you don't see them there, they're not a part of it. Okay. So for me, as I have this saying that I don't take advice from people I wouldn't trade places with, right? And Warren Buffett is definitely a person when it comes to bank accounts, I would trade places with, right? But he says it. He says it best. If you don't find a way to make money while you're asleep, you will work until you die. I think that's one of the strongest statements a person can ever, um, you know, meditate on. But there's
That
another
is a
one.
quote that I will not forget, my brother. I've seen it before, but this time I'm gonna plant it deep in my
Okay. I
DNA.
appreciate that. Thank you very much. And so, and one other one, guys, is this one right here. This is one where he talks about, because this is where you people get, real passionate about their passions. Okay. And he said, and I quote, he said, do what you love to do, as a hobby, and do what everybody else, loves to pay for as a living. Right. And once you make your millions, you spend the rest of your life enjoying your hobbies. So when I say that to say this, if what you're doing, guys, is putting you in a position where you're living check to check, right, and you're in a position where you can't see, the future, financially because you have way more month, than money, and that's all in your way. You got to look at what's working for other people and say, hey, look, is this something that I can do? something I can learn, something that's going to benefit my family. And, you know, is it worth me learning? And I'm gonna just tell you, trading is definitely something that you guys should be learning, on your part time, because again, when everything continues to evolve, instead of being that person, right, that complains about everything that's going on in the government, right, that you can't control, right, don't wake up one morning in a position where your family's looking at you like, what do we do? Okay, you know, be that person that when you wake up and your family's looking at you and saying, you know what, I'm glad you did. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the things that I can just tell you. My wife and I, we believe in, it's not about what we like, it's what's best for the family. Okay. But what's best for our family also is taking vacations. So, we like to travel the world, guys. Your creator put you here and put a lot of beautiful things here for you to see. And, this platform, for those of you who are members, guys, you are given this for free, right? You're given this access for trading benefits and savings for free. So as a member of the Bill Trading Academy, you will get to own your own wholesale pricing booking engine, save up to 50%, 70% on your hotel and resort stays, 4 and 5 star hotel and resort stays for 2 and 3 star prices, over 1 million properties global, right? 3,000 discounted curated trips. These are pre-packaged trips that have destinations that people, it may be an off season, okay? Just opposite of peak season, and they want people to show up. These are destinations that come big discounts. Every trip is tax deductible for all my business people, and I haven't taken a trip, guys, since we've had this access, for a full price period. I take every hotel stay at a discount. Save yourself two, three, $500, $1,000 on your trips. All right, $29 family and friends travel plan, which means that all of your friends and family, they can now get the same thing, all these discounts, that you're giving, okay, without being a member of the Bill Trading Academy, just by paying $29 a month. So they, for less than $350 a year, right, they get all those benefits that you get. On top of that, they get a free stay annually on their anniversary. Talking about a 4 or 5 star vacation, or a three to $5,000 value every year on your anniversary. So wrapping this thing up, guys, how much does Build Trading Academy cost with all the foundational training, trading essentials, these are all these things that you get. When you look at the core basics, the Build Academy, gives you the Forex education, options education, futures education, digital assets education as well. No access to Einstein at this point, right? No access to Omni as well. But again, you get your foot in the door, you get a chance to learn the basics for $199 one time. Then $99 a month is your tuition. Uh, Now, for the elite and the premiers, these are where you now gain access to, the Einstein scanner and Omni. Now, you get everything when it comes to, the basics, but you add that to the scanner, the Einstein scanner for Forex market only, and then Omni includes 3 strategies. Now, when it comes to these strategies, ladies and gentlemen, when you look at the average price for a strategy on companies that are out there, it's anywhere from $150 to $200 a strategy. So that $499 down one time and $149 a month, that $149 a month does not cover those strategies. You are just getting that as an introductory offer, and you're grandfathered in to where that doesn't change for you. Okay? Now the Premier gives you again everything that the Elite and Core gave you, but it's going to give you the Einstein scanner for all the markets, right? Forex, options, stocks, futures, crypto, and then the Omni includes 7 strategies, not 3. And we're continuing to build up our strategy basis, so you'll have multiple strategies, to choose from. It won't just be 7, guys. It'll be several strategies, 7 algorithms, several traders that you can choose from. $9.99 one time, and then $199 a month. So just with the scanners, just with the Omni platform by itself, guys, that if you go and look online and you go do some comparison, right, what you'll find is that the average platform out there that's just doing anything close to this is starting to do $10,000 to $15,000, to get started, and then $150 to $500 a month, $499 a month. Yeah, and so that's not where we get rich as a company. We get rich as a company by empowering the masses. Okay, we learned that if you actually provide value and you charge a little over a lot of people globally, Okay, you become the most impactful company in the world. You become the most, one of the wealthiest companies in the world, and you're doing it without overcharging, just by providing value. But as they say in business, wait, there's more, because when it comes to the ability to offset some of your overhead, some of your operating capital, as I would just like to have an opportunity to have a free ride when it comes to education. How would you like to have a free ride when it comes to using the technology, when it comes to the elite and premier packages? And see, we've learned from some of the universities, not just here in the United States, but all around the world, they have universities out there that pay students for referring and recruiting other students. Okay? Here's a list of some that we have in the United States of America right here, starting with the University of Central Florida with their Golden Feather Cash Referral Program, all the way down to the University of Texas at Austin, in my backyard here in Houston. Right? And you have some, you refer people, they pay you cash, right? And so for us, we say, you know what, if you're referring people to us, we don't want you to pay the 99 a month or the 149 a month or the 199 a month, right? We want you to actually have that free. Okay. So on the basic access, guys, you have zero subscription. If you refer for basic access or higher, you won't have a monthly subscription. That tuition goes away. Okay. When you actually have the elite subscription, when you refer for elites or higher, guys, you pay no more at that point. Again, imagine having that free ride, premier access subscription. $99, the $199 a month goes away. If you refer for premier members, you pay no more. So you have a lot of people who are coming on board because they can count. As you do the math, just on the $99 a month, that's $1,200 a year, $1,800 a year for the elite. That's $2,400 a year for the premier that you put back in your pocket. Now you're actually learning how to make money, and you're using the technology to use to make money as well. Okay, without having to pay for it. You've already paid your dues by referring some people to the project. So that's how we become a household name. That's how you get a free ride, guys. And I appreciate, again, each and every last one of you guys here for joining us. We have some huge news. I'm not going to let the cat out the bag, but you'll be hearing from us. It's the equivalent of our Black Friday sale, right? Our, Cyber Monday sale, but something huge is coming. Keep your cell phones on, keep your text messages, ready to be received. Just know within the next 24 to 48 hours, you guys will be hearing from us with more and more added value. So with that, enjoy your turkeys. Don't be a ham, right? Enjoy your holidays and party responsibly, and get back with the person who invited you here, and make sure that, one, you let them know that you really appreciate, them inviting you. Two, let them know at what level you want to participate, what type of education you want to receive, what type of access to the technology you want to enjoy. So see you guys at the top, guys. See you guys at the bank, and see you guys at the beach because of a venti. Enjoy.
Record.